Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat rin po, Congressman Terry Ridon, for the quick interjection. While we are waiting for the documents, Madam Chair, may I propound some clarificatory questions to the AMLC representative? Kanina po nasabi niya, covered transaction reports and suspicious transaction reports. Pag sinabi po pang covered, nasabi niyong may basihan. Tama po ba o mali?
Tama po. Ito po yung lahat ng transaction kapag nireport ng bangko, kailangan lagpas 500,000 pesos.
At pag sinabing covered, Madam Chair, ang ibig po ba sabihin nun ay tiningnan nyo pero merong basihan or justifiable na legal ang transaksyon na ito? Tama po ba o hindi? Covered transaction reports.
Sa report lang po ng bangko sa amin, hindi pa po namin madedetermine at that point.
Okay. When we say suspicious transaction reports, ano po ba, Madam Chair, ang pagkakaiba ng covered transaction reports vis-a-vis suspicious transaction reports?
So, unang-una po, yung suspicious transaction reports, wala po siyang halaga. It can be below 500,000, maaari pong 10,000, 20, 30, 50. Maaari din pong sobrang laki na lumagpas din ng 500,000. Pero ang pinagkaiba po niya sa suspicious transaction, ang tinitingnan po natin or ng covered person or ng bangko na nagre-report, meron bang mga kahinahinala na mga transaction or galaw doon sa kanyang galaw nung kliyente niya. So kasama na po dito yung mga nabanggit ko kanina na enumeration na nabanggit po kanina nung nagtanong po. Pero nagbigay rin po ako ng halimbawa na medyo madali masundan. Halimbawa nga po yung kung meron pumasok o lumabas na pera pero walang malinaw na basihan or pinanggalingan or pundasyon kung bakit meron kang ganitong transaksyon.
Yeah. If the Secretariat is not yet ready, Madam Chair, may I proceed to my next clarificatory question? Nakasaad kanina sa cover letter nyo ang sinabi nyong financial intelligence reports. Can the Honorable Representative from AMLAC define what a financial intelligence report means?
Ang financial intelligence report po ay isang report na ginagawa ng aming mga analyst na kinukuha nila ang mga transactions na na-report sa amin, tinitignan, ina-analyze, meron bang patterns, meron bang galaw na kakaiba, o normal lang ba ito? So, meron po silang mga points of analysis. So, they will prepare this financial investigation report based solely on the reports provided and reported to us by the covered persons like banks.
And these are included in the documents that you have submitted, sir,
Tama
Madam Chair.
po. Meron po kaming naisubmit po.
So, Madam Chair, maybe the Secretariat is already ready?
May we know if the Secretariat is ready to flash the summary of transactions? COMSEC? Not yet ready? Would you like to proceed, Honorable D.S. Garin? They're
Let
still
me
scanning.
proceed. Kasi nga, hinihintay nga natin yung mga kopya. Kapag sinabing financial intelligence reports, makikita ba natin dito o nakasaad ba dito yung bakit pinagdududahan ng AMLAC yung transaction na ito?
Meron na pong konting analysis po yon. So, maaari pong may...
Yeah, Madam Chair, let me repeat my question. Yung tanong ko po, nakasaad po ba doon sa financial intelligence report kung
Apo.
bakit pinagdududahan ng AMLAC ang transaksyon na ito?
Apo, meron po.
Yeah. Although not directly related, Madam Chair, but in the exercise of their function, may I inquire from AMLAC, ano po ba usually ang mga kausa or the causes kapag kayo ay nagdududa? These are transactions related to what, Madam Chair?
Unang-una po is kapag itong transaction na to ay may kinalaman sa mga predicate crimes o yung mga krimen na nakasaad sa AMLA.
Pwede po ba nating himayin, Madam Chair, ano po ba ang sinasabing predicate crime? Magbigay po tayo ng halimbawa.
Sa batas po, may sa Anti-Money Laundering Act, may nakalagay na mga krimen na pinanggagalingan nitong mga proceeds ng mga illegal na activity. At ilan po sa mga predicate crimes na meron tayo ay bribery, corruption, fraud, drugs, kidnapping for ransom, plunder, robbery, extortion, huweteng, masyaw, violation of tax crime.
Income, kunyari, income galing sa negosyo, yan po ba covered ng suspicious or covered transaction o hindi?
Kapag po lumagpas ng 500,000 yung isang transaksyon, ire-report po yun as covered transaction.
Pero tinitingnan nyo kung siya ba napasok bilang income sa mga negosyo na nakasaad.
Ang bangko po yung unang nakakakita nun dahil sila po yung may kliyente doon sa individual na yon at yung bangko po yung nagre-report sa amin.
And in other words, again, is the Secretariat ready or not yet?
They are ready.
Okay, I submit, Madam Chair.
We are temporarily suspending the clarificatory questions of the Honorable Garin to give back the floor to Honorable Terry Ridon. Please flash the document summary of transactions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May we request the Executive Director to read number 2 to number 7 of this particular report.
Summary of transactions. VP Sara's accounts generated a total of 371 large transactions and 30 suspicious transactions from 13 October 2005 to 20 January 2026 with transaction amounts reaching as high as 55.158 million. Additionally, transactions involving other parties' accounts wherein VP Sara was identified as the beneficiary and or counterparty comprised 15 large transactions and 1 suspicious transaction from 20 June 2006 to 2 April 2025 with amounts reaching up to 7.44 million. Historical trend of transaction reports. A review of the AMLC database records show a total of 417 transactions amounting to approximately 3.92 billion from 2005 to 2026, reflecting substantial financial activity over a long period. Transaction activity was relatively limited in the earliest years, with only 1 transaction recorded in 2005, 540,000 before increasing significantly starting 2007 when transaction values surged to 208.15 million. Financial movements intensified between 2009 and 2013 with consistently high annual totals exceeding 400 million, including notable peaks in 2009, 704.93 million, 2010, 648.58 million, and 2011, 597.15 million. Activity gradually moderated from 2014 onward, with annual transaction values generated ranging between 40 million and 85 million, except for smaller movements in 2023, 4.78 million, and 2025, 1.06 million. A moderate uptick was again observed in 2024, 13.45 million, before declining in 2025 and early 2026, indicating reduced financial activity in the most recent period.
Kindly read the year-on-year amounts and number of transactions from 2005 to 2026, and also the grand total before proceeding.
Year 2005, number of transactions 1, amount 540,000. 2006, number of transactions 12, 185,485,299.4 pesos and 42 centavos. 2007, number of transactions 14, 208,154,545 pesos and 99 centavos.
Before proceeding, I'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President, as stated in the SALN for 2007, is only 7.250 million. Please proceed.
2008, number of transactions, 7, 46,901,376. 2009, 27 transactions.
Before proceeding, I'd like to state for the record that for 2008, the net worth of the Vice President, as stated in her 2008 SALN, was only 18.493 million pesos. Please proceed. 2009.
2009, number of transactions, 27. Amount, 704,928,792 and pesos and 32 centavos.
We would like to state for the record that for 2009, the net worth of the Vice President then was 18.281 million as stated in her 2009 SALN. Please proceed.
Both manifestations are noted by the committee.
2010, number of transactions, 34. Amount, 648,582,662.40.
Before proceeding, I'd like to state for the record that for 2010, the net worth of the Vice President then was 16.242 million as stated in her 2010 SALN. Please proceed.
Manifestation is noted.
2011, number of transactions, 26. 597,152,536 pesos and 97 centavos.
I'd like to state for the record that for 2011, the SALN net worth of the Vice President was 14.271 million as stated in her 2011 SALN.
Manifestation is noted.
Please proceed.
2012, number of transactions, 15. The amount, 407,875,524 and 23 centavos.
Before proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President for 2011 was 14,271 million as stated in her 2011 SALN. Please proceed.
Manifestation is noted.
2012, number of transactions, 15. Amount, 407,875,524 pesos and 23 centavos. For 2013, number of transactions, 14. Amount, 406,864,909 pesos and 28 centavos. 2014, number of transactions, 15. Amount is 252,427,031 pesos and 76 centavos. 2015, number of transactions, 25. Amount, 85,141,813. 2016, number of transactions, 13. Amount, 46,407,353 and 81 centavos. 2017, number of transactions,
Before
20.
proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President in 2016 was 34,895,000 as stated in her 2016 SALN. Please proceed.
In 2017, there are 22 transactions amounting 46,391,903 pesos and 32 centavos.
If I may interrupt, this is only up to 2015, the table which is shown on the screen.
On the other side po, Madam Chair.
To be clear, there's a third column po.
Yes, you may proceed, Honorable Ridon.
No, we can flash the table again.
Kindly flash the table.
No, to be clear po, there's a column, next column po. You can see 2016 in the next column.
The next column after 2015
Yeah.
should be 2016. Secretariat, please.
No, it's flashed on the screen, Madam Chair. It's correct. We can go back to that particular slide.
Is it on the right? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it's correct, Madam Chair.
It's on the right side, 2016.
Yes. Are you done stating 2017 or no? Not yet.
2017, 22 transactions, 46,391,903 pesos and 32 centavos.
Before proceeding, Madam Chair, we'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President then for 2017 was 44,828,000 as stated in her 2017 SALN. Please proceed.
Manifestation is noted.
2018, number of transactions 26, amount 48,717,694 pesos and 84 centavos.
Before proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President then was 49,699,000 as stated in her 2018 SALN. Madam Chair, please proceed.
Manifestation is noted.
In 2019, number of transactions 34, the amount is 60,231,229 pesos and 77 centavos.
Before proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that the 2019 net worth of the Vice President was 55,613,000 as stated in her 2019 SALN. It is further noted that it was stated that she had no cash or deposits in that particular 2019 SALN. Please proceed.
Manifestation is noted.
In 2020, there are 29
Madam Chair, can I?
Honorable Diaz
Yeah,
Suarez.
I just didn't catch the manifestation of Kong Terry. Can you repeat that statement again?
Honorable Ridon.
Further, we state for the record that for 2019, it was stated there that there was no cash on hand or there was no cash deposits in our 2019 SALN. Madam Chair.
Am I right to hear no cash deposits
No cash deposits,
in
no
her
cash on
SALN?
hands in the SALN.
Thank you
Madam
very much
Chair.
for that clarification, Madam Chair.
Please proceed, ED, for 2020, please.
For 2020, number of transactions 29, the amount is 58,443,465 pesos and 89 centavos.
Before proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that for 2020, the SALN of the Vice President stated a net worth of 56,583,000 as stated in her 2020 SALN. Further, the SALN does not state cash on hand and cash deposits, Madam Chair.
Manifestation is noted.
Please proceed. 2021.
Quick interjection, Madam Chair.
Honorable Diaz-Guerin.
Just to be clarified, to compare the statement of our AMLAC Executive Director vis-a-vis the question of the Honorable Ridon, ang ibig po ba sabihin dito base sa dokumento ng AMLC or ng AMLAC, merong transaksyon or merong kaperahan at ito ay dumadaan sa bangko?
Tama po.
It's a yes.
Yes.
So hindi po pwedeng itong datos nyo ay hindi dumaan sa bangko.
Tama
Does
po.
it necessarily mean a bank or any financial company?
Banks po.
And Madam Chair, Congressman Ridon was earlier saying that in the SALN, it was mentioned cash deposit zero or walang laman. Did I hear it right, Madam Chair, from Cong Ridon?
Honorable Ridon.
There is, to be very clear, there is no line item that there is cash or cash on hand or cash deposits.
So my
in the
question, Madam
SALN.
Chair, to AMLAC, sigurado po ba kayo dun sa pinapakita niyong datos? Dahil sa SALN nakasaad na wala, tapos dito may sinasabi kayong meron. Are you sure of the figures?
Sure po. This
Thank
is
you,
based
Madam
on records, Madam Chair.
We may proceed to 2021. ED, please state the amounts.
For 2021, there are 30 transactions amounting to 52,893,074 pesos and 94 centavos.
Before proceeding, we'd like to state for the record that the net worth for 2021 of the Vice President was 65,308,000 as stated in her 2021 SALN. There's also no line item for cash and cash on hand, cash deposits in this particular SALN, Madam Chair.
The manifestation is noted.
Uh,
Please proceed with 2022. ED.
2022 number of transactions 25, amount 41,668,247 and 94 centavos.
We'd like to state for the record that the net worth of the Vice President for 2022, as stated in her SALN, was 71,058,000. Further, we note that there is no line item that states that she had cash on hand or cash deposits in the 2022 SALN, Madam Chair.
Manifestation is noted.
Proceed to 2023, ED, please.
2023, number of transactions 4, amount 4,778,500 pesos.
Madam Chair, for the record, the net worth of the Vice President for 2023, as stated in her SALN, was 77,508,000. And further, there is no line item stating cash on hand or cash deposits, Madam Chair.
Manifestation is noted.
Please proceed, 2024, ED.
2024, number of transactions 28, amount 13,453,000.
We would like to state for the record, Madam Chair, that the net worth of the Vice President was 88,512,000, as stated in her 2024 SALN. Further, we note that there is no line item indicating cash on hand or cash deposits, Madam Chair.
Manifestation is noted.
Please read until the end of the table.
2025, number of transactions 14, amount 1,062,000 pesos. 2026, number of transactions 2, amount 3,454,350 pesos. Grand total, number of transactions 417, amount 3,920,955 pesos. 3,920,955,311.88 centavos.
Thank you for reading the table. You may proceed with the next part of the report.
Honorable Ridon, I understand that the committee secretariat prepared a matrix in line with your manifestation. Net worth vis-a-vis cash or bank deposit declaration vis-a-vis transaction per report of AMLC. So if the committee secretariat is ready, kindly flash just to conclude the clarificatory questions raised by the Honorable Ridon, including his manifestations. May we know if the secretariat is ready?
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
The Honorable Amben Amante.
I have one question for AMLAC. Ilang
Okay.
accounts po ba itong pinag-uusapan po natin?
Again, we are pertaining to transactions and not accounts. So, to all the justice members, please be guided.
Okay, thank
The
you.
subject matter of the subpoena is not account. It's transactions.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Just one clarificatory question, Madam
I'm not
Chair.
yet,
Maybe
I'm
the
not-
executive director can answer first.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Ridon, we're waiting for the
okay,
matrix.
all right.
The
Thank you.
floor is still with the Honorable Ridon. We're just trying to make use of the time. ED, the question of the Honorable Amben is the number of transactions. If you can answer that question, how many transactions is involved or contained in your report?
Madam Chair, not transactions, kundi accounts.
But the subject matter of our subpoena is not account.
Okay, okay.
The
thank you.
subject matter is transaction.
Okay, Madam Chair.
So will you pursue your question? No more?
No more, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
with the indulgence of the Honorable Ridon, while waiting for the matrix to conclude your manifestations in the report of Executive Director Buenaventura, may I call first the Honorable Sara Ilago.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd like to pursue the query of Representative Amben, but now in regards to transactions.
Yes.
So does this cover, do these transactions cover withdrawals? Yes or no?
Outflow.
It includes withdrawals.
Deposits, Madam Chair, yes or no?
Yes, Madam Chair, included as well.
Purchases, what about purchases?
Yes, Madam Chair. For ease of reference, the list of the nature of the transactions are actually found in the next page, which is page 3 of the report.
Yes.
So there are different transactions there.
I understand that the reference that was used by the AMLC in their report is inflow and outflow. So perhaps for consistency, let us confine to the use of terminologies transaction, inflow, outflow.
Madam Chair, we don't have the copy of the rest of the report of the
Yes.
AMLC yet.
It is being reproduced.
All right.
So maybe we can go back to Honorable Ridon. Honorable Ridon, please proceed.
Yes, I think while waiting for the slides, the executive director can continue reading
Okay.
the rest of the report. Transaction report details, please.
Transaction report details. Transaction composition is largely driven by credit memos, 1.41 billion, debit memos, 1.3 billion, and fund transfers, 521 million in 521.86 million, followed by time deposit pre-terminations, 218.74 million, and miscellaneous transactions, 209.29 million. Other notable transactions include time deposit placements, 109.15 million, and time deposit payments, 109.15 million, as well as withdrawals, 62.79 million, and check deposits, 48.33 million.
Madam Chair, just a manifestation.
May proceed.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, it's hard to dissociate transactions from bank accounts. Kasi ang binabanggit po ng AMLC are deposits, actual withdrawals, actual payments which pertain to bank transactions. So it's very hard to separate bank transactions from bank accounts. That's my manifestation, Madam Chair.
Your manifestation is noted.
Madam Chair, just a clarification.
Honorable Ridon, are you... We will wait first for the
No,
matrix
we can actually
before you
proceed.
proceed.
We can actually proceed, Madam
Can
Chair.
we please allow first Honorable Ridon to finish with his clarificatory questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we can dispense with reading the table. We can proceed to number 5.
Meanwhile, insurance-related transactions, including sell life insurance policy, 43.42 million, and purchase of life insurance policy investments, 20 million, are also present. Notable movements alongside purchase of checks, 20.03 million, loan payments, 18.23 million, and encashments, 15.10 million. Smaller value transactions include loan pre-terminations, check clearing, loan availments, cash deposits, collections, bills payments, credit card payments, bond purchases, salaries, pension credits, inward remittances, and credit card purchases.
Before proceeding with number 6, can you clarify po yung difference ng inflow transactions, because this is the subject of the next paragraph, versus the total transactions, which you had previously read for the record? What is the distinction between inflow transactions and the total amount of transactions?
Honorable Ridon, if I may interrupt, the table is ready to be flashed. Would
Sige
you-
po.
Okay. Secretariat, please flash the matrix. That is in accordance with the manifestation of the Honorable Ridon. Cash or bank deposit as declared in the SALN vis-a-vis transaction in the AMLC report vis-a-vis the total net worth likewise in the SALN.
Yes, just before proceeding, Madam Chair, I think we would want to particularly note that from 2007, when we had received copies of the SALN, the net worth of the Vice President was just 7,250,000. But there were transactions that had gone through her accounts um, amounting to 208 million pesos. I think the same is clear in the other years, no? We'd like to highlight, for example, 2009. She had a SALN of 18.8 million, but 704 million had gone through her accounts. We'd like to state for the record as well, 2010, net worth of 16.2 million, but the transactions going into her accounts was 648 million. For 2011, 14.2 million, but transactions going into her accounts were 597 million. For 2012, net worth is 22.1 million, but going into her accounts in 2012 was 407 million. I think the same is true in other years, Madam Chair. It is just a bit smaller, but it speaks to the clear disparity from what had been stated in the year-on-year SALN's net worth of the Vice President, Madam Chair, just for the record and before proceeding.
Madam Chair.
Confirm from the AMLC. With regards to your reported transactions, does it mean cash transactions? It's
Not-
just a yes or a no?
No, no, not only cash transaction.
Not necessarily cash. Honorable Ridon, are you finished with your...
No, we will deal with the rest
Let's
of the
allow
report.
him to finish first, and then I will call you Honorable
We will
Suntay.
deal with the rest of the report, Madam Chair, because this is just about VP Sara. There are two personalities in the report, including Attorney Carpio. Please proceed with the inflow transactions. Number 6.
Inflow transactions, a review of the identified inflow transactions shows a total inflows of approximately 1.51 billion with identified inflow activity identified only during the period 2006 to 2022. These inflows largely dominated by credit memo transactions amounting to 1.41 billion, which account for majority of the recorded inflows. Other notable sources of inflows include check deposits totaling 48.33 million, deposit transactions amounting to 45.73 million, and cash deposits of 4.95 million, while fund transfers 6 million, inward remittances 0.99 million, and salaries pension credits 1.05 million represent relatively minor portions of the total inflow.
Yes, meron po dito nakikita natin yung mga inflows, no? Maganda po siguro, we can read for the record as well. Kasi magkakaiba po ito, hindi po ba? From doon sa binasa ho nating nauna. Ito po yung inflow transactions. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga pumasok na
Tama.
mga kaperahan sa mga accounts. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Sige po. You can just read the grand total from 2006 to 2022, please.
So for 2006, grand total 122,156,866 pesos and 28 centavos. 2007, 105,094,767 pesos and 87 centavos. 2008, 22,225,157.35. 2009, 372,464,396 pesos and 16 centavos. 2010, 323,282,749.01. 2011, 215,637,944.42. 2012, 199,058,755.08. 2013, 96,852,782.94. 2014, 2,500,000 pesos. 2015, 23,796,782.94. 2016, 9,066,771.43. 2017, 9,866,071.43. 2018, 3,500,000. 2019, 6,293,000. 2020, 1 million. 2021, 800,000. 2022, 1,003,000 pesos 967.31. Grand total 1,514,599 1,514,599,312 pesos and 22 centavos.
Siguro po para malinaw, Executive Director Benaventura, ibig sabihin ho ba from 2006 to 2022, ito po yung pumasok na kaperahan sa account ni Vice President Sara, 1.5 billion over the course of these years. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Ngayon naman po, puntahan ho natin yung investment-related activities.
Madam
Bago tayo
Chair.
mag-proceed, labas pa ho ba ito doon sa total transactions o kasama na po ito?
Kasama na po. Kasama.
So inclusive, no?
Apo, inclusive po.
Siguro po, can we read for the record yung paragraph 12, investment-related activities?
Madam Chair, with the kind interjection of Honorable Ridon, just a very quick clarification.
With the indulgence of the Honorable Ridon, okay lang ba?
Yes, please proceed.
Honorable Sendanya is recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you very much, Representative Ridon. I'm looking at the third column in the previous table, yung pong column on check deposits. Can we flash it again? The inflow that was...
Please flash.
Ayan po yung third column. Pwede po bang pakilagay dun sa mga taon ng 2019 to 2022? Ayan. 2019 to 2022. Nakikita ko po dito, tama po ba, may we request the Executive Director to please read the entries for the check deposits for 2019 to 2022.
For 2019, 6,293,000. For 2020, 1 million. For 2021, 800,000. For 2022, 1,003,967 pesos and 31 centavos.
Pakituloy na po hanggang 2023 and 2024.
Please flash the 2023 and 2024.
Wala na
Wala na
po
po.
siyang
Sige
katuloy sa
po.
table.
Dito lamang po sa Madam Chair, a very quick observation. From 2019 to 2022, meron po mga cash deposit na na-flag sa account ni VP Sara Duterte. At ito rin po yung panahon na batay sa kanyang SALN ay walang nakalagay na entry sa cash on hand tsaka cash in bank. I just want to put that on record, Madam Chair.
We note the manifestation of the Honorable Sendanya.
Sige po, we can proceed to investment-related activities. Can we read number 12, please?
An analysis of investment-related transactions from 2010 to 2025 shows total investment inflows of approximately 327.89 million, significantly exceeding investment outflows of 111.15 million. Investment inflows were particularly substantial in the earlier years, with 106.64 million recorded in 2010 and 106.68 million in 2011, followed by smaller inflows in 2012, 2.43 million, and 2013, 2.99 million. A renewed period of investment activity emerged from 2018 to 2022, during which both inflows and outflows were recorded annually at nearly equivalent amounts, ranging from 18.15 million to 24.12 million. Notably, 2023 onwards recorded no investment movements, indicating a cessation of investment activity in the most year.
Sige po, pasukin na po natin yung total na lang nito pong investment-related activities. Ano yung inflow nito? Can you read it for the record, please?
Yung grand total, Madam Chair?
Yes po. na
Perhaps we
investment.
need to flash again the table in the cover letter.
Hindi,
If
ito po,
Honorable
let-
Ridon is asking for the
no,
total?
this po muna. Yung
For this
investment,
item, okay.
yung inflow po ng
Okay.
investment-related activities.
For grand total of inflow, 327,888,459 pesos and 67 centavos.
Sige po, before proceeding to the accounts of transactions of Attorney Carpio,
All right.
very relevant po, Madam Chair, na banggitin po natin, no?
Is this for whose
This is just
transaction
for,
is this?
Vice President Sara.
Vice
This is for
President.
the respondent vice president.
Yes, madam.
Tama po.
And now you're proceeding to the transaction of the husband.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, but we just wanted to summarize po for
Please proceed.
Vice President Sara. So to be clear, ED, ito pong total transaction amounts, no? Grand total ay 3.920 million. Tama po ba? Total transactions. Vice President Sara Duterte.
Based on record, 3,920,555,311.88 based on record po.
Tama po. Ang susunod po yung inflows. Can you state it again for the record? Ito po ba yung 1,514 million?
Apo. Based on record, it's 1,514,599,312 pesos and 22 centavos.
At ito po ang investment-related activities. Ang total inflow po nito ay 327 million. Can you read it again, the entirety?
Based on records po, it's 327,888,456 pesos and 67 centavos.
At salamat po. Pinapabanggit po natin ito for the record, Madam Chair, dahil kailangan po natin ibangga ito pong amounts na ito doon po sa 88 million net worth ng atin pong pangalawang Pangulo to date. No? Ibabangga din po natin ito doon sa year-on-year na net worth ng atin pong pangalawang Pangulo mula po noong 2007. At makikita po natin dito na kahit mag-usap po tayo sa total transactions, mag-usap po tayo sa total inflows, kahit mag-usap po tayo doon sa total investment activities ng atin pong pangalawang Pangulo on her transactions, hindi ho magbabangga doon po sa kabuuan ng kanya pong net worth at 88 million at doon po sa mas maliit pa nga na mga net worth in previous reporting. So we can proceed, Madam Chair, to the
Madam Chair.
transactions of Attorney Carpio.
Madam Chair, before we proceed,
With the indulgence of the Honorable Ridon, may we recognize
Yeah.
Honorable D.S. Biron.
yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick clarification to our ED. Nakita natin that the bulk of the inflows came from credit memo. Is that correct to say, ED, that this credit memo amounting to 1.4 billion came from an existing account directly deposited to the account of VP Sara?
That we cannot confirm at the moment. We have to verify that specific transactions.
And if the verification proves that it came from an existing account deposited directly to the account, would you be able to tell us or reveal to us kung isang account ito, dalawang account, or it came from a common account? Is that possible?
We can check, Mr. Chair, Madam
Alright.
Chair.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable D.S. Biron.
Ma'am, Madam Chair, point of
The Honorable
clarification.
D.S. J.J. Suarez.
Yeah. Ma'am, para lang po maunawaan ko po yung proseso ng pagre-report. Ito pong mga tinatalakay na covered or suspicious transactions, ito po ay inire-report sa inyo ng bangko o AMLAC ang nagpa-flag nito? Paano po ba ang sistema?
Bangko po ang nagre-report dito sa email.
So, therefore, the bank determines kung ano yung mga considered na flag, suspicious, tapos nire-report sa inyo.
Tama po.
Okay. Mahalaga po kasi malaman yon, Madam Chair, kasi upang maunawaan natin na yung bangko mismo ang nagpapadala ng na-report nito sa AMLAC. And it's not AMLAC looking into the specific accounts of these individuals. Am I right to state that, Madam Chair?
Tama po yun.
Okay. Thank you. So, sa madaling salita, para mas maunawaan po ng tao, hindi po iniimbestigahan ng AMLAC yung mga specific na bank accounts. Yung mismong report, ang pinanggagalingan po nito ay yung bangko mismo. Sila ang nagre-report sa AMLAC. At ang nakakapagtaka po, Madam Chair, para yatang hindi nagtutugma yung kwento sa kwenta. Dahil sa SALN kanina na binabanggit po ng ating kasamahan na si Congressman Terry Redon, may mga sinabi na may cash on hand, kaso lang base sa pasok at labas ng pera, mas malaki po yung nai-report ng AMLAC at ng mga bangko sa AMLAC kaysa sa dun sa lumalabas sa SALN. So, pwede ko rin po bang masabi, Madam Chair, na maaari AMLAC na hindi pa kumpleto ang report kasi ang sabi niyo po, bangko lang po nagre-report sa inyo. So there may be other transactions that may have not been reported to you because they may have thought that those were not suspicious, neither were they flagged. Am I right to assume that?
Tama po, because ang nire-report lang po ng bangko sa AMLA, AMLC ay halimbawa yung mahigit 500,000 or kung suspicious. Kung hindi po mahigit sa 500,000 yan, hindi po i-report sa AMLAC. So maaari po or maaari ring wala na meron transaction na mas mababa pa sa 500,000 na hindi na po na i-report sa amin.
Di maaari din pong sabihin na pwede pang lumobo tong numero na to kung mas lalong bubusisiin at titingnan dahil maaring hindi na flag ng banking institution yung specific na transaction dahil sa pananaw nila hindi ito suspicious o covered ng kanilang criteria. Tama po ba yun, AMLAC?
Hindi ko po masabi pero theoretically, posible po.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Honorable Redon?
Madam Chair, just to expedite the reporting on Attorney Carpio, can we just state for the record, going to page 7 of this report, can we just state for the record the grand total of the transactions from 2007 to 2026?
Is that part of the content of the report?
Yes.
The total
It is
transaction?
page
Yes, Madam,
7. po.
Madam Chair, yes. The grand total is 403, a number of transactions 403. The amount is 3,129,984,775 pesos and 34 centavos.
All right. Can we go to the inflow transactions of Attorney Carpio, page 10? Can you read it for the record, please? The grand total.
Grand total for inflow transactions, 201,911,860.37.
Okay, maraming salamat. Ito po ba ay mga accounts na at transactions na hiwalay po doon sa mga transactions po ni Vice President Sara? Ibig sabihin, baka naman kasi meron silang joint accounts, no? So hindi ba ito nakakomingle doon po sa mga nauna na po ninyong mga binanggit na reports, no, on the Vice President?
Meron pong ilan na joint pero maliit, konting-konti lang po.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, malaking bahagi nito pong 3.1 billion total transactions, 201 million inflow transactions ay mga accounts po mismo ni Attorney Carpio. Tama po ba?
Maaari po, yes.
All
Based
right.
on records lang po.
And for the record, Madam Chair, binabanggit nga ho ng atin pong AMLC na magkahiwalay pa ho ito. At pagka pinagsama-sama po natin, particularly po, yung inflow transactions na lang po, nung pong ating pangalawang Pangulo at ng atin pong, at ng kanya pong may bahay, malayo pa rin ho doon sa 2024 net worth ng ating pong pangalawang Pangulo at malayong malayo doon po sa pinagsimulan po niyang net worth for 2027. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Suntay, and then the Honorable Benny Abante, and then the Honorable Tino, Honorable Elago.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Sa AMLAC, can you just walk us through the process of arriving at the covered transaction report? Paano ba yung proseso? How do we come up with yung covered transactions?
Para po sa bangko, ang covered transaction po ay pag nag-transact po ng mahigit 500,000 sa mahigit 500,000 sa isang araw, nire-report na po yun ng
So
bangko.
basta 500,000 or more yung transaction, automatic i-report sa AMLAC yan.
Tama po.
So does it mean that it's a suspicious transaction basta ni-report sa inyo?
Hindi
Not
po.
necessarily.
Iba po yung suspicious transaction.
Okay. Then how do we arrive at yung total amount? Kasi nakakalula yung amount. Pagka tinignan mo, 3 billion, di ba? So, ibig ba sabihin yan, how do we compute itong transaction na ito? Kunyari ako, may nag-deposit sa akin na 501,000. That's considered one transaction.
Tama po.
Now, binalik ko sa nag-deposit sa akin. That's another transaction.
Tama po. Outflow naman.
So, outflow naman yon. So, magto-total ngayon yon na 1 million. Kasi may pumasok sa akin 500, may lumabas na 500. Tama ba? Mali?
Tama po.
So, ganun yon. So, basta labas-pasok, nag-a-add to. So, it doesn't mean na pagka sinabi natin may 3.9 billion, does it mean na merong 3.9 billion sa loob ng account?
Hindi ko po, kung base lang po sa records, hindi ko pa po masabi.
O, hindi. Pero ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, based dito sa ni-report kasi amount involved, 3,772,000,000. Ang tinatanong ko itong 3,772,000,000, this is a total amount ng lumabas, pumasok, ganon.
Tama po. Transactions
Kagaya ang
po
sinabi
siya.
mo,
Total po ng transaction.
Baka nag-deposit sa akin 500, lumabas 500, inekwenta yon. So every time naglalabas-pasok, nagdadagdag yon.
Yung sa theoretical lang po, pero for this case po, hindi ko po masabi yun.
Ay, hindi mo masabi. Pero maaaring ganon.
Theoretically, posible po yun sinasabi.
Oo. Now, I would also like to point out, kasi napansin ko, we started 2005, di ba? Yung report na binigay nyo, 2005 to 2025.
Apo.
Oh, I just also like to put it on record that an impeachable officer can only be impeached for actions involving her term, during her term as an impeachable officer. So sumobra tayo ng 14 years. But regardless, I just want to point it out. Ang dapat na pagtuunan natin ng pansin actually from 2019 to present. 2022 to present, di ba? Kasi doon lang nagsimula eh. Now, babalikan ko, nung 2022, nawala na yung sinulatan ko. Nung 2022, may pumasok sa account niya. Well, yung na-flag ng AMLA, nung 2022, which was the time she was Vice President, 41 million. Yun yung lumabas-pasok sa account. Nung 2023, 4.7 million. Yun yung lumabas-pasok sa account. Nung 2024, 13.4 million. Yun yung lumabas-pasok sa account. Nung 2025, 1 million na lang ang lumabas-pasok sa account. Tama ba? Based doon sa
Based
report.
on
I
records
just
po.
want to
Yeah.
be clarified para lahat tayo clarified dito sa mga numero na ito.
Based on records, tama po.
Oo. So based from 2022, siguro ang lumabas-pasok sa account niya, 45, 58, 59, mga 60 million in the past from 2022 to 2026 in the past 4 years. Tama, mali?
Hindi ko po masuma on the
And,
spot.
sinuma ko
Madam
ga-
Chair.
Maybe
galing
you
sa
can
report niyo
make
ito eh.
reference, Honorable Suntay, to that
Yes,
particular
I'm
page
referencing
where you are
from
reading.
what they submitted. Kasi nagka-breakdown kanina eh. Di ba nagbigay kayo ng breakdown kung magkano lumabas pumasok noong 2005, magkano lumabas pumasok noong 2006, noong 2007, noong 2008, noong 2009. Inad ko lang mula 2022 hanggang 2025.
More or less po. More or
Oo,
less.
mga
Apo.
ganon. Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Thank you.
Madam
Madam
Chair.
The Honorable Bishop Abante, and then I called Honorable Tino and then Honorable Ilago.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ako'y natutuwa kay Congressman Suntay kasi sinabi niya nalulula siya sa amount. Ako nahuhulog na sa amount Grabe ho yung amount. Oo. Ngayon, in line with the questioning of Congressman JJ, gusto ko lang po malaman, yung nire-report po ng mga bangko, sila di ba nagsasabi kung ito ay covered or suspicious transaction?
Yung covered po, ang batas po ang nagsasabi kung magkano
Oo.
ang i-report. So mahigit 500,000.
Okay,
Yung-
alam kong batas,
Apo.
pero who determines that? Ang
The
bangko
banks na
ba?
po. Yung bangko
Ang
po.
bangko?
Yung bangko po.
Therefore, yung report ng bangko, sinasabi na sa inyo kung covered to o suspicious.
Tama po. Tama po yun.
Hindi kayo.
Hindi po.
Okay, yun ang gusto kong malaman. Pangalawa, ang question ko sinabi nyo din na meron tinatawag na time deposit placement na dineposto nila on time deposit. Alam niyo ba kung magkano po yung time deposit placement na yan?
Is the question part of the report of the AMLC? Congressman Abante?
Yes.
Opo, hinanap ko lang
Attorney
po kung saan.
Buenaventura, please answer.
Time deposit placement po is page 3, 109,146,567 pesos and 52 centavos.
That would be from the time that she became vice president until now.
Tama po. Apo.
Therefore,
Based on records
yung pagkakaiba po nung regular account niya, magkano po yung sa regular account?
Yung regular accounts po, wala po dito na specific na regular accounts, hindi ko po masagot.
Meron bang outflow and inflow sa time deposit placements? Meron bang outflow? Transaction?
I understand that that is a probing question already, Honorable Abante. With all due respect, please confine to the contents of the
Madam
report.
Chair, maraming salamat. Gusto ko lang humalaman kasi pinag-uusapan yung outflow and inflow ng mga transaction. We'd like to find out also kasi binanggit niya rito yung time deposit placement So we'd like to find out also kung yung transactions ng outflow sa time deposit placements. Yun lang po.
Consider that as manifestation of the Honorable Abante.
Madam Chair, just a manifestation. Just
Honorable
with regards to
Santay.
yung threshold amount, kasi the accurate answer, it's actually Congress that determines the threshold account because Congress legislated the passage of RA 9160, which provided that every transaction 500,000 or more is covered. Yan yung threshold account. So it's not the banks that determine. It was Congress. It was the law that determined.
Your manifestation is noted.
Madam Chair.
Now it's the turn of the Honorable Tino and then the Honorable Ilago.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
With the indulgence of Honorable Tino and Honorable Ilago, I understand that DS Janet Garin still has to catch her flight to Iloilo. So with your indulgence, can we recognize first the Honorable DS Garin?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po sa ating kagalang-galang ng mga kasamahan sa Committee on Justice. Madam Chair, I believe the report of Executive Director Ronel Benaventura was cut short because as earlier, covered transaction reports and suspicious transaction reports were actually presented. In his cover letter, it also mentioned financial intelligence reports. Can the Honorable Executive Director quickly give us a summary of this? Ilan po ang financial intelligence reports and what does this contain based on your Annex B?
Madam Chair, the things that I've been discussing are actually the intelligence reports and the investigation reports. The raw, the covered CTRs and STRs are submitted separately. So in that, there's only pure submissions of and details of bank. The one that we have are already processed information. There is an analysis involved. So this already counts as a report on those CTRs and STRs.
In other words, Madam Chair, how many intelligence reports do you have in your Annex B?
So ilan? Apat. Apat na. Let me just confirm with the team. So, limang reports ko may account summary sa dalawa, account summary, dalawa, tapos may dalawa ka rin. Yeah. So there are 4 financial intelligence report and 1 investigation report.
Can, Madam Chair, can the Honorable Executive Director give us a brief summary or conclusion on what is contained in these intel reports?
Brief statement only.
Let me rephrase my question, Madam Chair, in the interest of time. Doon po sa inyong intel reports, sir, meron po ba kayo nakitang kahina-hinala o wala?
Meron po dahil sobrang laki ng mga transactions. Pero as explained po earlier, ang intelligence report namin is based lang sa database na nakita namin sa mga na-report. So medyo may kalakihan po, based lang po sa report.
Perhaps we can confine the answer of Attorney Buenaventura to subject matter of the investigation, brief statement, and then findings in the investigation report. Brief statement also.
Teka, ang hirap na. Madam Chair, sorry, for investigation report.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a brief statement of the subject matter and then the findings.
For the financial investigation report, we have one on Attorney Manasseh Carpio and it lists down his transactions throughout the years covered by the...
So what is your findings?
Madam Chair, there is no specific findings indicated that would summarize the
So what does
transactions.
your financial report contain? Observation?
Yes.
Okay, can you briefly state the observation of AMLC with respect to the financial investigation?
Can I mention, can I read some of the portions of the report?
Yes,
Okay.
please make it brief.
So for The summary of transactions reported for Attorney Carpio is shown below. It's in table form. For purposes of comparison, two time buckets were identified. The first is from 2016 to 2026, which are the years when the Duterte family at national political scene. The other bucket are the years prior to 2016. And the biggest transactions involving Attorney Carpio are the purchase of MCCC-TC debit memo, which account for 86.55% of the total value of his reported covered transactions during the period 2016 to 2022.
So, Madam Chair, if I may, pasensya na po, no, sir, in the interest of time, kasi these are voluminous documents that we have just received until now. Doon po sa inyong pagperus o sa inyong mga natanggap na report, ang ibig po ba ninyong sabihin ay merong kahina-hinalang nakita o wala? It's actually a yes or no kung meron or kung wala.
Is that covered by your report or it is simply confined to covered and suspicious?
It is only, the question, Madam Chair, requires me to go beyond the report because it's
Alright.
not indicated in
So
the report.
that is
I
a
am not
probing
competent.
question,
I
DS
am-
Janet. Let us confine to the content of the report of AMLC.
So, let me rephrase my question, Madam Chair. Base po doon sa mga annexes na sinusubmiti ng AMLAC, at ngayon po kasi patuloy pa nating pakonti-konti natatanggap ang mga dokumento. Sa pagkakaintindi ko, ang sinasabi ng ating AMLAC Executive Director ay meron silang mga financial intelligence report. Tama?
Tama po.
You mentioned the number 17, you mentioned the number 4. Ang tanong ko, dito ba sa mga report ninyo, ay meron po bang indikasyon na merong kahinahinala o wala?
Hindi ko po masabi.
Does that mean, Madam Chair, that this warrants further investigation via possibly a formal trial? Kasi nga hindi natin may tanong yung ibang mga tanong dito at hindi naman nila pwedeng sagutin dahil tayo naman hindi trial. Ito po sakop ng Senado. Do I understand it right, Madam Chair?
I think for purposes of further proceeding, we can consider the suspicious transactions because in the reporting of suspicious transactions, there are indicators shared and read already by Attorney Buenaventura when a specific transaction, regardless of amount, is considered as suspicious.
Yeah.
Let us defer to the report of the AMLC. They cannot make a conclusion. As a matter of fact, it does not contain a finding. It only contains observation. So we have to satisfy ourselves as to the report of covered transactions and suspicious transactions. By suspicious transactions, there are surrounding incidents already which were considered by AMLC, why those were considered as suspicious. So it will be based on the judgment of the justice members whether these suspicious transactions will be considered for the purpose of determination of probable cause.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Chua.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
The Honorable DS Garin is not yet
I-
finished.
Just last question, Madam Chair, if I may, before I leave my chair, leave my time to the next interpellator. Of course, I have not perused over the qualifications of the Honorable Executive Director, Madam Chair. At sa pagkakaintindi ko, ang opisina po ng Executive Director ay nagmamando ng basic qualifications. Can the Honorable Executive Director confirm to this august body na siya po ay kwalipikado sa kanyang posisyon na hinahawakan?
Ako po ay kwalipikado sa posisyon na hinawakan ko.
At kapag po ang inyong opisina ay tumitingin sa mga transaksyon, ang tinitingnan niyo po ba ay ang mga tao? Do you check data based on specific personalities? Or do you check data based on the information that is being submitted or given to you by the banks?
Sa information lang po kami tumitingin, Madam Chair.
Hindi po sa katauhan.
Hindi po.
Ibig sabihin, ang proseso ng AMLAC applies to all and not to select individuals.
Tama po.
Wala po kayong bias, sir.
Tama po. Wala po.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Garin. With the indulgence of the Honorable Tino and the Honorable Elago, the Honorable Roger Gutierrez would just want to make a counter manifestation to the Honorable Suntay.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Gutierrez is recognized.
thank you, Madam Chair. With the indulgence, it's not a counter manifestation. Just a short point po, no, kasi I know we're moving on with the topics. Very short. I think that's a very good point raised by Congressman Suntay. Yung example niya po na halimbawa, pag ako binigyan ng 500 at nagbigay ng 500, amounts can change. But at the end of the day, zero po yung laman, supposedly. So, Madam Chair, I'd like to ask si AMLC Benaventura, on that point, the reports can really bloat it. And you mentioned na hindi po klaro, you need to look into it to be able to tell kung ano po yung laman.
Mhm. Hindi ko po masagot kung ano yung next action na ginagawa o hindi gagawin or gagawin ng AMLC patungkol dito. Pero sa proseso po ng AMLC, once we have the reports, tinitignan din namin, ang susunod ay yung mga remedies na available sa AMLA. Halimbawa, mag-further bank inquiry, magkakaroon ka ng freezing or ipapa-forfeit or magkakaso ka ng money laundering. Pero at this point po, hindi ko po masabi kung meron o wala. Hindi po outside the subpoena po yung kung ano yung next namin na step dito, kung meron man.
But Madam Chair, just looking at the report itself, wouldn't a good indication be yung net po between the inflow and outflow?
Sorry po.
Wouldn't that be a good indicator? Just if we're looking at the reports alone, the net between the inflow and outflow. For example, binigyan po ng, for simplicity, si Attorney Buenaventura sent me 500,000. I sent you back 500,000. You sent me back 500,000. I sent you back 500,000. Zero po yun on my end. But if Attorney Buenaventura sent me 500,000, Attorney Morales sent me 500,000, I only sent 500,000 to Attorney Sanchez. I have a net of 500.
That is correct.
So looking at the reports, magkano po yung net?
Hindi po namin na-total sa report. So hindi ko po maibigay yung exact.
I think you have a table incorporated in your cover letter.
Madam Chair, for simplicity, let's take a look at the 6.7 billion amount of inflow, amount involved. So 4.
Can we flash the summary of transactions
So Madam
contained
Chair,
in the cover letter?
inflow of 4,425,443,794 and 69 centavos minus outflow of 1,554,681,310 pesos and 82 centavos. That leaves a net of 2,870,762,483 pesos and 87 centavos. Would that be correct?
May I know po which page are you reading from?
That's the last page of your cover
Cover
letter, ED.
Cover letter, sorry.
The table in your cover letter. This is actually your summary.
Yeah. Yes, this is correct po. As read in the cover letter.
So that would be a good indicator po, a starting point for the investigation.
I cannot say I can't say for certain. I am not at liberty to disclose.
That is all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Madam Chair, just
This is on the same line, Honorable Tino. Would
Chair,
still be
this is-
okay to
This is on the same
recognize
line.
two more justice members on the same line?
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair,
This is on the same line.
same line din.
Honorable Tino?
Sinimulan nyo na eh. Sige na po. Opo.
But
Madam
I
Chair.
am seeking for your conformity.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Adjong and then the Honorable Chua, and then we will go back to Honorable Tino and Honorable Elago.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Tino and Congresswoman Ilago. Very, very short lang po, Madam Chair. Let me go back to my previous line of questioning, ED. Diba, the very mandate of your office really is to look into suspicious transactions, covert transactions that would probably describe how the inflow and the outflow of money can be determined as a money laundering activity. Tama pa?
Tama po.
Okay, sige. So, lahat ng mga, sabi mo kanina, lahat ang nagre-report yung bangko sa inyo, and then what you do is to analyze these reports based on the inflow and outflow of the money.
Tama po.
Inflow meaning could be deposit in either cash or check, whatever. And outflow is the going out of the money, right?
Tama po.
So even if you total the deposit in the withdrawal, and then you come up with the certain amount, sabihin mo na, hindi yun actual na nandoon na current na pera doon sa account kasi tinototal mo pa rin yung paglabas niya. Ay yun ang magiging account. So regardless of that, wouldn't that be the very definition of money laundering? Kasi ang sabi mo, pinapasok, nilalabas to appear as legitimate. Tama ba?
Kung legitimate naman po yung transaction,
Yeah, kung legitimate. Kasi
wala naman
nagsasabi
pong-
naman ng bangko sa inyo,
Apo.
suspicious nga eh. So
Apo.
I'm asking you on the premise of a suspicious transaction, right? As indicated in your report. Tama ba? Would that be the very definition of money laundering? Papasok at ilalabas.
kung marumi po yung pinanggalingan
the
ng
premise
pera,
is, yes, kaya nga,
yes.
nagsabi
Opo,
nga ng
yes,
bank.
opo.
Nagsabi nga ang bangko sa inyo, it's a suspicious transaction. That's why you have that analysis. That's why you have that report. Because the bank reported to you that these amounts na hindi siya yung, let's say, more than 500 million, yung flow
Honorable
and activity.
Adjong, perhaps we are crossing the line already.
No, I'm just citing to ED.
This has no
a-
reference to
a-
the
a-
transaction of the respondent.
I'm asking him the mandate and by which they actually analyze the activity and
In
the
other
behavior of
words,
the
you are-
inflow and the outflow of money. So
You
that
are
it can be-
referring to the process and not to the
Process.
transaction.
and for them also to determine whether this transaction covers the very definition of money laundering. Tama ba yung ano ko?
ED Buenaventura, please answer the question.
Yung nga definition ipapasok, ilalabas. Na based on the suspicious na report sa inyo ng bangko. Tama ba?
Opo,
Okay.
pero
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Now we go back to Honorable Tino.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat for
Okay.
allowing the other
Yes,
Kongs
opo.
to raise
thank you po.
clarificatory questions ahead of you. Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat, Chair. Chair, actually, kaugnay din muna dun sa cover letter at yung table dito, yung summary of inflows and outflows. So, una muna, pwede pa klaro po, pag sinabing inflow, ang ibig po ba sabihin nito ay yung perang pumasok sa mga account o mga account ni Sara Duterte Carpio at ni Manasseh Carpio? Tama po ba na yun ang ibig sabihin nun?
tama po.
Okay. Tapos yung outflow naman, yung mga halaga na lumabas mula sa mga account ng dalawang ito. Tama po.
Tama po.
Okay. By account, we mean bank accounts. Tama po.
Tama po.
Okay. So tapos ang sinasabi nga ay may total na 4.425 million pinagsama na pumasok sa accounts ni na Sara Duterte Carpio at Manasseh Carpio mula taong 2007, tama po ba? 2007 up to 2026.
Ito pong report is 2006 to 2025.
Okay, 2006 to 2025. So mula 2006 hanggang 2025, may total na 4.425 billion na pumasok sa mga account nila. Tapos, meron namang lumabas na 1.5 billion. Tama po?
Tama po.
Okay. So, pero meron ding sinabi rito, undetermined inflow and outflow transactions na 791.1 million pesos. Pwede pong pakilinaw lang, what do you mean by undetermined inflow and outflow?
Apo. So, nung nagsimula po ang MLC, maliit pa lang po at yung system niya para tumanggap ng report ay hindi pa nakakapag-categorize
Okay.
kung inflow or outflow. Ang nakikita lang ay, or natatanggap lang na report ay kung may gumalaw. So, hindi po namin ma-identify kung iyon ba ay inflow or outflow. So, hiniwalay lang po namin kaysa magulo yung figures na sigurado kami dun sa inflow at outflow.
Okay. So, itong 791 million na ito, pwedeng pumasok siya, pwedeng nilabas din siya.
Maarin po. Apo.
Okay.
So kung i-menos natin yung 4.4 na pumasok, tapos yung 1.5 na lumabas, so more or less ay magkano nga po ang difference? So roughly mga 2.9?
Sinusuma lang ho namin.
Apo.
Minus 1.5. More or less yung katugma naman po na 791,102,607.44.
You mean yung difference?
Apo, bali, ang,
It's 4.4 as against outflow of 1.5. So
sorry.
parang hindi
Apo,
yata...
mali po yung
Opo.
na-compute namin. Pasensya na po.
Mga 2.9 yan.
More or less 2.9 po.
O sige, 2.9 million. So tama po bang sabihin na dahil mas malaki yung pumasok kaysa sa lumabas, merong at least 2.9 na nananatili pa sa account? Ganun po ba? Pwede po bang ganun ang interpretasyon?
Maari po, maari din pong hindi. Kasi yung pong reports na to ay ito lang po yung
Para sa
humigit
covered.
sa 500,000. So,
Oo.
kung below po yun, maari pong nagtatransact sila, pero wala po. Pero maari din po na tama din po yung sabi niyo.
Oo,
So,
maaring
mga posibilidad lang po,
Oo.
theoretical lang po.
Oo,
Based on report, hindi ko po
Basta
masagot.
may 2.9 billion na difference doon sa pumasok at saka sa nilabas. Mas maraming pumasok kaysa nilabas. So posibleng may 2.9 billion pa na natitira, pero posible ring hindi kasi baka nilabas din yon, kaya lang, for example, below the 500,000 threshold.
Maari po.
Oo.
Yun,
So,
theoretically. Pwede ko po
For
masagot
example,
based
kung
on
nag-withdraw
records.
po ng 499,000, kasama pa po ba to sa mare-report sa inyo?
Hindi po. Sa
Hindi
unang
na.
report, hindi po. Kaya lang po, Madam Chair, meron po kasi tinatawag na structuring
Mhm.
sa batas. So kapag po na-flag ng bangko na you're intentionally evading
Okay.
the reporting threshold of more than 500,000, the bank will even report all of your transactions as suspicious.
Okay, so kung ibig sabihin kung may pattern ng withdrawal na 499,000, magiging suspicious na rin yon.
Apo.
Dahil parang halatado na iniiwasan yung
Tama po yun.
threshold. Okay. So, ngayon naman po, doon sa inyong, I think it's your intelligence report na pinresent kanina, sa page 3 po, pwede po bang ma-flash? Yung page 3?
Comsec, kindly flash page 3 of the summary of transactions.
Okay. Pwede po bang in particular, ayan, yung mga transactions, ano, and then parang meron pong text, it's point number 5. Yan ba yun? Pwede po bang mag-scroll pa? Please scroll further down. Okay, ayan po. Actually, ang gusto ko lang po malinawan ay doon sa nature of the transactions. Pwede po bang balikan yung uli at may mga gusto lang akong mailinaw tungkol doon sa nature of transactions, both yung inflow at saka outflow transactions.
Madam Chair, ano po yun, sir?
Anong mga tipo ng inflow transactions ang
inyong na inulat batay sa inyong analysis?
Alin po yung nai-report namin na inflow transactions po? Tama po.
Halimbawa, ayan.
Ito pong
yung
okay,
mga
sige
yan.
po.
Opo.
So,
Yung nasa
Okay.
matrix na yan,
Apo.
are those inflows? outflows?
magkasama po yung inflow at outflow po
O
diyan.
sige, ipaliwanag na lang po. Ang pinakamalaki ay yung credit memo.
Credit memo. Opo.
Okay, tapos debit memo and then fund transfer. Okay, could you explain ano yung credit memo? At ano yan, pumasok po ba na pera yan sa account?
Tama po. Yung credit
Okay.
memo po, may pumasok na pera sa
Ano po
account.
ibig sabihin ng credit memo?
Na may notice lang po doon sa account na nadagdagan yung account ng ganitong halaga.
So ibig sabihin may nag-transfer ng fund?
Opo, maaari
No,
po.
but that's different from a fund transfer, no?
Ilinawin ko rin po, yung nakalagay po kasi dito nung araw, yung nabanggit ko nga po na yung AMLC ay maliit pa rin at
Okay.
hindi pa ganun ka-sophisticado.
Okay.
Wala pong, hindi pa ganun refined po yung
Okay.
mga category when banks would report. So, and ganun din sa system ng AMLC nung araw. So, credit memo, parang kahit na anong pumasok nung araw sa account mo, yun yung papasok na, tinatrato na po yun na credit memo.
Okay.
So, karamihan po yan, kaya medyo malaki po if you look at po yung page 4. Parang early years po yan, 2016, 2006, yung sumunod lang po na page. 2006, 2007, 8, 9, at 2009, and so on. Yan, hanggang 2013.
So pag sinabing credit memo doon, basta mga
May
kahit na anong pumasok
Apo,
sa bank account.
Opo, nung araw po kasi
Oo.
hindi pa po
Okay.
sophisticado.
Okay, tapos yung debit memo naman na 1.028 billion,
Ganon din po yung explanation ko po. Karamihan din po kasi nung araw ay pag nabawas, debit memo lang yung tinatawag.
so ito naman mga bawas sa account.
Apo, nabawas.
So ito
naman
yung
po.
lumalabas na pera.
Apo, tama po.
Okay. Tapos yung fund transfer, papasok o palabas o ano ba yan?
Inflow po, papasok po.
Inflow. Okay, mga inflow. Okay. And then yung iba are siguro mas time deposit pre-termination. So nilabas po to.
Apo, palabas po yan.
Okay. Miscellaneous transactions and so on. Yung iba mga purchases. Okay. Okay, thank you Madam Chair. Yun na lang muna ang clarificatory questions natin.
Thank you. Next
Basta
is...
ang obserbasyon lang po, malinaw na yung mga inflow at outflow ay malinaw na malayo. In terms of yung halaga, ay malayo po dun sa declared sa statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth. No?
The committee notes all the manifestations of the Honorable Tino. For the guidance of all the members, we still have 3 resource persons. So I think we have amply raised clarificatory questions to the AMLC. So I hope the justice members will consider reserving clarificatory questions to the other resource persons. Nonetheless, we are recognizing the Honorable Sara Ilago and then the Honorable Percy Sendanya.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Marami ho sa mga katanungan natin ay nabigyang linaw na rin. Pero may dalawa ho tayong concern. Pwede ho ba nating i-flash ulit sa screen yung tungkol dito sa report on the transaction details? Nais lang po natin ipagpatuloy dun sa next page.
Next page,
naka-flash
after
sa
the one
screen.
flashed by the Honorable Tino. Comsec, please.
Madam Chair, meron ditong item na suspicious transaction at sinabi ang bilang ay 29. May 29 na transactions pero ho ang amount ay piso lamang. Tama ho ba ito at maaring bigyang linaw ng AMLC tungkol
Maaari po mahingi yung page number.
number 4 nung report. The table doon po sa number 4. This is page 3 of 15.
Kindly
Sorry, page
speak
4
closer
rather.
to the microphone.
Yes, page 4.
Page 4, Secretariat, please.
Okay. Sige. Nakita ko na po, Madam Chair. So, ano po ulit, maaari pong makiulit yung katanungan.
Doon ho sa item na suspicious transaction, may 29 na
Apo.
number po dito ng doon sa covered transaction, pero ang amount ay piso lamang. Tama ho ba ito?
Tama po iyan.
Ano ang paliwanag po dyan?
Hindi ko po, wala po kasi yung breakdown nito, STR dito sa report. So, hindi ko po maibigay kung ano yung bakit isa-isa, kung bakit yan, ganyan po lumabas. Pero pwede ko pong ipaliwanag lang yung concept, yung konsepto bakit posibleng may ganitong mangyari. Pero hindi po ito yung ibig sabihin nyo na sa report. Ayos lang po ba kung ganun ko po muna ipaliwanag? Sige po. So,
Again, we have to limit our questions to what appears in the report of the AMLC.
Yes, Madam Chair. It's in page 4 of the report.
hindi ko lang,
Nakapagtaka po kasi 29
We cannot ask
number
him to
of
explain.
transaction. Okay.
We can only ask him to confirm or clarify what appears in the report.
Alright, so tama ho. 29 yung number ng transaction, pero ang amount involved ay piso lamang.
tama po.
Okay, now let me go to my next question, Madam Chair. Naka-reflect ho ba real time itong mga number ng covered transaction sa AMLC? O meron po tayong sinusunod, di ba, na time frame? ng
Meron pong
report sa
sinusunod.
AMLC?
So kapag po covered transaction reports, they have to submit within 5 banking days. Kapag naman po suspicious transaction, they should report it the next working day upon determination of suspicion. So kumbaga 1 day lang po.
This is now a manifestation, Madam Chair, na sa dami po ng suspicious na transactions, nasa 33 ho ang inyong nabanggit, hindi po dapat na record keeping o nangongolekta lang ng STRs ang EMLC at sa mga susunod po natin ng mga hakbang, no? Hindi na po sa venue na ito, no? Pero dapat talaga makita natin kung paano hindi lang tagakuha ng record pero naiimbestigahan talaga ang ganito karaming mga suspicious transactions.
We note the manifestation of the Honorable Ilago. Next is the Honorable Sendanya.
Madam Chair, I will be very brief. This is just a manifestation as I have asked my questions earlier. Kasi pabalik-balik po tayo dun sa arithmetic ng pag-subtract ng inflow dun po sa outflow. So for the record po, Madam Chair, kung isusubtract more or less yung inflow na 4.425 billion at yung outflow na 1.554 billion para po doon sa mag-asawa, ang lalabas pong total dyan ay 2.871 billion. Kaya po kung ibabase po natin sa report na ito, yung 2.871 billion na maaaring naiwan sa kanila, maaaring ala na dyan, ay ano po, mas malaki pa doon sa 2.5 billion na budget po ng DOTR para po sa ating fuel subsidy. Pero tandaan po natin, ito pong figure na 2.871 billion, hindi pa po dito kasama yung 791 million na undetermined kung inflow or outflow transactions. Tapos balik po tayo doon sa usapin ng SALN. Sa 2024 SALN po, ang nakalagay na net worth nila ay 88 million lamang. Bilyonaryo pala sila. Sabi nga po ng isang wise man from the 3rd District of Manila kanina, di wow. Ang sabi naman po ng bakla na akbayan, sila na. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
We note the manifestation of
Madam
the
Chair.
Honorable Sendanya.
Madam Chair, just a
I wish to
manifestation.
share to the justice members that there is a pending request from the Honorable former Senator Sani Trillanes to be able to be presented after all these questions because he has some important concerns to be addressed after his appearance before our committee.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable
Chair, yes.
Jokno and then the Honorable D.S. Suarez.
Thank you, Madam
And then the Honorable Brian po.
Wala na po akong tanong, just a brief manifestation. Unang-una, nagpapasalamat tayo sa Anti-Money Laundering Council. Thank you for bringing the records that were requested by the committee. Lalong-lalo na yung listahan ng 630 covered transactions at 33 suspicious transactions na konektado kay Vice President Sara Duterte Carpio at sa kanyang asawa. Based on the ALMC table, ang lumalabas ay the reported inflows substantially exceeded the reported outflows. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung perang pumasok kaysa sa lumabas. And as Congressman Sandanya mentioned, ang lumabas na net inflow ay 2.87 billion pesos. Wala pa po doon yung 791 million pesos in undetermined transactions. Napakalayo po nito, Madam Chair, sa dineclare ni Vice President Sara na yaman o net worth sa kanyang 2024 SALN of 88.5 million pesos lang. Kailangan ipaliwanag ni VP Sara yan at hindi lang po sa komite kundi sa taong bayan kung saan ang galing ang bilyong-bilyong pesong ito. Siyempre, karapatan ni Vice Presidente na ipaliwanag sa committee to o kaya kung gusto naman niya, hintayin niyang umabot sa Senado kung maaabot doon at doon niya ipaliwanag. Pero ganun pa man, ang ebidensyang ito ay may tuturing na smoking gun o matibay na basehan para masabi na may probable cause para iangat ang kaso. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The manifestation is noted. The Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Alam mo, pinakikinggan ko po yung proceedings natin ngayong hapon. Klarong-klaro na kailangan po natin tignan ang AMLC kung sila po ba ay in tune pa rin sa makabagong mundo. Kung ano pa ba ang kailangan natin gawin upang mas palakasin ang kanilang ahensya. Dahil dapat nababantayan nila yung mga ganitong mga transaksyon dahil kung titingnan po natin, simula 2005 pa pala, may mga ganito ng mga malalaking transaksyon na hindi po maipapaliwanag base sa mga dokumento. So I don't think it is right, but I don't know if I can move, Madam Chair, but it's up to your better wisdom. If not, maybe a request that the Committee on Banking Intermediaries or the proper committee conduct its own congressional inquiry in how to further strengthen and how to further provide teeth to the operations of AMLAC moving forward, Madam Chair.
The committee notes the manifestation of Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez about a possible inquiry on AMLC in order to strengthen the agency in addressing its mandate, and that is fighting against money laundering. With that, we recognize the Honorable Brian Poe.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I just want to clarify, no? Dito sa 630 na cash transaction reports at 33 suspicious transaction reports, kasama po ba ang mga joint bank accounts?
Kasama na po.
Kung kasama po, counted sila under KVP or counted sila under Mr. Carpio? Kasi baka mamaya may double.
Wala pong double counting. So
Walang double
yung
counting.
pong sa linya po ni VP, lahat ng ka-joint individual account niya at ka-joint account niya maliban sa asawa niya. So yung kay Manasseh Carpio naman po, lahat ng individual account niya at ka-joint account niya at kasama yung ka-joint account kay VP. Doon po naibilang.
So for clarity,
Wala pong
yung
double
kung
count.
may account na kasama yung dalawa, it's counted under Mr. Carpio.
Tama po.
Okay. Tapos yung mga joint accounts na kasama si VP, but not including si Mr. Carpio, is only under VP.
Tama po.
Sige po. Second point of clarification, Madam Chair, would be to ask, does this include corporate bank account transactions in which either personality is included sa corporation?
Hindi po.
Hindi pa kasama.
As based on report po, it's just if they are the direct owner of the accounts only.
If they're the, sorry, Madam Chair, to clarify, kung sila yung direct owner ng corporation,
Rather, if sila lang yung may owners ng account or ka-joint nila yung one of the joint owners of the accounts.
so kumbaga dito sa listahan sa SALN nila ng mga kumpanya, kung saan sila listed as shareholder or owner, hindi po kasama yung mga companies na ito dito sa mga transactions.
Based on report po, hindi po kasama.
Okay. So I won't push any further now. On the third point, I wanted to ask, under this undetermined inflow and outflow transactions equaling 791 million pesos, can you explain what exactly is undetermined inflow and outflow?
So, meron po kaming mga transactions nung araw dahil maliit lang yung MLC, hindi po sophisticado yung system, na meron mga transactions na nire-report na hindi po malinaw kung inflow ba siya or outflow. Nagkaroon lang po ng galaw dun sa transaction. Nung araw po, yung mga bangko, hindi pa po sophisticado yung reporting ni AMLC. So, pag nag-report po sila, hindi po nila nilalagay kung pumasok ba to or lumabas. Nilalagay lang nila, may nagbago dun sa account. So, hindi po malinaw yung time na yon.
So kumbaga on top of yung mga transactions na nandito, hindi naman siya double entry or anything
Hindi po.
either.
Hindi po yan. Nakahiwalay
Okay.
po yan.
So may additional na 791 million pesos in transactions pero hindi masasabi kung inflow siya or outflow.
Tama po.
Okay, just to clarify that. Last point of clarification, Madam Chair, is, for example, isa sa mga corporations sila, yung isa dito sa dalawa, signatory dun sa transaction ng corporation. Is that included here or wala din?
If signatory lang po based on records report, hindi po sila kasama.
Hindi kasama. So it's possible to speculate that through the corporations, there may have been more transactions.
That's a probing question already, Honorable Po.
Sige po. I'll leave the rest to my colleagues then. I just wanted to clarify those points. Madam Chair, to be fair, kasi to both the personalities involved, I wanted to make sure na hindi po ito double entry. Kasi kung double entry po yan, that's very unfair to them. Yun lang po, Madam Chair.
I think the answer of E.D. Buenaventura is clear. The transactions of the corporations owned by the respondent and husband are not yet included in the AMLC report.
So, Madam Chair, for all those viewing, this total inflow or amount involved of 6.7 billion pesos are unique transactions and not double entries, no?
Tama po.
E.D.?
Tama po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you,
Madam
Honorable
Chair,
Po.
Madam Chair. Sorry po, one question na lang,
Honorable
Madam
Ilago,
Chair.
we're about to call the next
Yes.
resource person.
Yes. Ito po ay kaugnay nung natanong ko kanina.
Okay.
Just one clarificatory question. Medyo nalito po kasi ako dun sa na-report na item na suspicion transaction. Dun sa table-
Suspicious.
Yes. Sorry. Suspicious transaction dun sa table 29 ng page 4 doon sa ni-report na 33 na STRs dun sa buong AMLAC report. Ano po ba ang difference nito, Madam Chair?
Difference between covered and suspicious?
Dun sa table 29 na may 29 na number of transaction na part ng covered transaction vis-a-vis dun sa 33 na identified na suspicious transaction as defined by AMLA.
The question is basically the difference between covered and suspicious transactions. E.D., you may
Madam Chair,
respond.
dun sa table 29 po kasi, meron dong item na suspicious transaction. And then, may nakalagay po doon na number, 29.
29 transactions.
Yes. Opo, 29 transactions. If we can flash again sa screen.
Can we
Yung piso
flash the
po-
table?
Yes. Yan po yung piso na nakin-clarify ko kanina, Madam Chair. Oo.
E.D.?
Maari pong malaman ano po yung
The
clarification
question is, why is it considered suspicious transaction? The 29 1 peso transaction.
Yes.
I think that's res ipsa. Res ipsa because it's 1 peso only
Okay.
and repeatedly done in 29 times. That's why it's considered suspicious.
Yung hindi ko po kasi ma-verify pa ngayon kung iisa-isahin po. Pero meron po kasi tayong reporting sa sa system, sa EMLC, that even if walang transaction or zero transaction, you can report it as suspicious, halimbawa hindi nagtuloy. So, nag-attempt siya mag-transact, hindi tinanggap ng bangko kasi tingin maari ng bangko na suspicious na yung transaction, hindi niya tinuloy, ire-report po niya yon as suspicious transaction. Pero, wala pong amount siya. So, maari pong doon pumasok pero hindi ko po ma-confirm pero yun po yung, kumbaga may ilang paliwanag kung bakit ganyan po yung lumabas.
Ibig sabihin, Madam Chair, dun sa 33 na STRs, yung 29 dun ay ito pong transaction na ito. So 29 out of the 33 STRs. Ito pong piso na ito.
Based on records lang po, ito lang po yung masagot ko po na 29.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So I hope we are done with AMLC. With the indulgence of the BIR and the SEC, former Senator Sani Trillanes